What's the one thing that you can do with your Amazon business to increase the efficiency of your PPC, meaning lower the cost of customer acquisition, lower your return rates, improve your brand recognition and customer sentiment, increase your lifetime customer value, and just make your whole business more efficient? The key to all of this lies in Amazon listing optimization. And Amazon listing optimization has a lot of different aspects to it, but today I want to go back to basics and talk about Amazon listing optimization when it comes to the creative content. So there are other aspects that we won't be going into today, things like pricing and promotions and FAQs. What we're really going to be focusing on is the text and the imagery, what those are, what the pieces require, and what you can do to begin to understand Amazon listing optimization on a deeper level so that you can take your business to new heights. So let's go ahead and get into things. In case you're new here, my name is Emma Shermer-Tamir. I am the CEO and co-founder of Marketing by Emma. And since 2016, we have been one of the top companies that's helping businesses figure out how to dominate the world of Amazon, specifically when it comes to copywriting for Amazon listings. That includes both the SEO as well as the text that you read as a customer when you're trying to figure out whether a product is a good fit for you or not. So throughout these next series of videos, I'd like to really dive into every single piece of your listing. And so in order to do that, we really need to start with a solid foundation of what Amazon listing optimization is and what are the key components so that we can then go in and really nerd out on each of those pieces together. So what is Amazon listing optimization? At its core, what it means is the different levers that you can use to make the performance of your product detail page more successful. And there are a few different layers of that. So there's the SEO as well as the conversion. And those two things, when they're working together, can be a really impactful way that business owners can drive more sales, build relationships with customers, improve their ranking and indexing amongst a host of other things. So Amazon listing optimization, as the name might suggest, isn't something static. It's something that you are doing constantly as you continue to get new data and insights from your customers, from trends, from what's happening in the news, from what's happening in your category, new competitors. All of these different elements are ultimately going to factor into the choices that you make with how you are positioning and presenting your product online so that people choose your product over all of the other options that are out there. So that's what Amazon listing optimization is in a nutshell. It includes keywords, it includes creative copywriting, it includes imagery. So we've talked about what Amazon listing optimization is. We've talked about why it's important. Now I'd like to get into the main components of Amazon listing optimization when it comes to the creative side of things. So the first piece is your keywords. Your keywords really are the skeleton of your Amazon listing. And I mean this metaphor full-heartedly. In other words, you shouldn't see the keywords. You don't want to make it so that customers are getting bombarded with many different strings of keywords, which is a very common practice on Amazon. So you need a solid keyword strategy. From there, you have a few other pieces that you're going to insert those keywords into. So the keywords are a tool in your toolbox, and you're going to take out various tools for the different parts of your Amazon listing. So your images, your product images, that's a really big one. You have your main image, which has some pretty specific guidelines that are going to be dictated by Amazon specific to your category. And then you have the rest of your product images, which are a fantastic place to show off your product in all of its glory, as well as emphasize the key benefits and details that are going to help someone understand your product, determine if it's a good fit for them, and get excited and feel emotionally compelled to want to buy your product. The next piece is your title. So your title is one of the few things that you have control of that's visible on the search results page. So your title needs to tell people what your product is and also give them a reason to want to click specifically into your listing versus the other listings that are on that page. If you want to know more about some of the biggest mistakes and also things that you can do to improve the performance of your title, I have a video that I go into all of that, and I'll be sure to link it down below, so be sure to check that out. The title is really like a puzzle where you're trying to fit together the right keywords along with some necessary information so that customers understand what your product is. So, photos, title, next up, and I'm going in order of sort of how customers are looking and interacting with these, but it's very important to recognize that people are not looking at your listing in a linear fashion. So someone might click into your listing, look at the photos, then scroll down to your reviews, then back up to your bullets, then down to your A+ content, and back and forth ping-ponging around as they're trying to make a decision. So with that in mind, even though I'm talking about these in sort of an ordered fashion, this doesn't necessarily suggest an importance hierarchy, and it also isn't suggesting that each one is sort of following along in a story. Each piece of this has its own job to play, and you'll be more successful if you look at it in isolation. So the next piece is your feature bullets. Most listings have 5 feature bullets. This is a place where you're going to really think about what are those critical details that a customer needs to understand about your product in order to know that it's the right fit for what they're looking for. And that can mean a whole host of things. So if I'm looking for a new mouse for my computer, I want to make sure that that mouse is going to be compatible with with the computer that I already have. I might also want to make sure that it's a mouse that can be used by a right-handed or left-handed person, and if not, that I'm buying the one that's correct for the handedness that I am. If it's something that's portable or ergonomic, those might all be details that are very unique to my needs. I'm using the mouse as an example because I just purchased a new mouse on recommendation from some peers because I was dealing with a lot of arm pain. So to me, one of the biggest criteria that I was looking for was a mouse that was going to help reduce tension created by pretty significant mouse usage because I do work at a computer 5 days a week. So that was a really important piece to me that I needed to see sort of front and center in the bullets in order to feel confident that this was going to be a good mouse for my requirements. And of course, you're wanting to pepper in keywords as you go as well. So next part, you have the product description. The product description is a little bit unique because it won't always be visible to customers. The product description is oftentimes below a few layers of ads beneath the bullets. And the product description is a place where you have a bit more free form in order to be able to speak to some different aspects of your product. So this is a great place if you want to get into a little bit of storytelling or organizing things in a more list-like format. You are able to use line breaks with HTML in order to organize things with a little bit more clarity, but that's the only HTML that you're able to use. Your product description will sometimes become not visible when you upload A+ content or premium A+ content, but that doesn't mean that it's not important because sometimes both are visible. And sometimes we have problems with our A+ content, and so only the product description will be visible. So you really want to make sure that your product description is going to be written in a way that's going to be putting your brand in the best light possible, meaning really try to avoid keyword stuffing, which is a common sort of practice, with the assumption being that nobody's going to see this or read it. People might see it, people might read it. It is a fantastic place to include a lot of those more challenging to fit in keywords, but you still want to make things readable and customer friendly. Next up, we have your brand story, which is a part of enhanced brand content and one of the requirements if you would like to eventually qualify for premium A+ content. But that's not the only reason that you should use the brand story. The brand story is fantastic for a few reasons. This gives you an opportunity to expand your A+ content because it's an additional module that appears above your A+ content, and it's scrollable. So it's a carousel function that allows you to have a few different sections that include information about your brand, as well as being able to show off some of your other top sellers or highly relevant products for your customers. So this is an opportunity to be doing some cross-selling or upselling as well. Now, your brand story, the same brand story is going to appear across your entire catalog when you upload that, so be sure to keep that in mind. Beneath your brand story, you have your A+ content, or if you've already qualified, your premium A+ content. So this is really your opportunity, your mini landing page, if you will, to be able to show off your product with the most creative freedom, thinking about how you can incorporate design and copy in a way that's going to engage your customers, get them excited about your brand, reinforce why this is a fantastic choice for them, and get your customers to add this to cart, or even better, to buy now. So those are the main pieces that we are going to be going into more depth with over the next series that we'll be embarking on. So just to recap, we have your keywords, we have your title, we have your feature bullets, we have your product images, we have your product description, we have your brand story, and we have your A+ content or your premium A+ content. These are all aspects of your Amazon listing that you as a business owner can use in order to really ramp up your performance and make sure that you are converting as much of that traffic as possible into happy customers. So if you would like a hand figuring out how to do all of this, or if you'd like us to take a look at your listing and determine if there are maybe some things that you can do to make it better, please feel free to reach out. We're glad to offer a free listing analysis. There's a link for that down below, or you can go to marketingbyemma.com/free analysis. Please let us know what content you'd like to see next, and of course, subscribe. That would really help us out, and it would mean a great deal to me. So thank you so much, and I will see you soon.